Hello and welcome back to Making a Beaded Keychain Part 2. Today we are going to learn how to put rhinestones onto our keychains. Jumping right into it, you want to make sure you have a threaded needle. You want to take one end of the rhinestones and lay it flat against the beads. You want to put your needle on the outside of the rhinestones as close as you can. Now you want to go back through the center of the rhinestones. I start to get kind of out of camera, but I am putting my needle in the inside between the rhinestones and the beads. And going back through the center. It's important that when you're doing your rhinestones to make sure you're doing both the outside and the inside. If you only do the outside, your rhinestones will lift, and we want to make sure it stays flat. It's also important to hold your rhinestones in the direction you want them to lay, so while you're sewing, they'll lay flat. And I'm repeating the steps: outside, center, inside, center. I am repeating the steps again: outside, center, inside, center. If you start to experience some tangles, if you just gently pull them back out and separate the threads, you'll get the tangle out a lot easier. If you pull your thread, you tighten the knot, making it much more difficult to untangle. Fast forward, I'm almost done my rhinestones, so I'm going to measure out my rhinestones and see how much I need to finish it off. With rhinestones, you're going to find that they don't always fit perfectly. You're either going to have too little, which causes a gap, or too much, which causes a rhinestone to protrude out, and it's okay. Your project is still beautiful. After measuring and deciding how many rhinestones are going to finish your projects, you want to cut off the excess. Finishing off the last two stitches: outside, center, inside, center. You can either decide to leave it as it is with a little small gap in your rhinestones, but I am going to teach you guys how to connect them. You want to place your needle on the opposite end of the rhinestones, so where you first began, in the center. The next step is a little tricky. You want to grab your thread and you want to wrap it around the first rhinestone and the last rhinestone. You want to finish it by going back through the center. Pulling tight and adjusting the rhinestones. I need to apologize, I did complete the last step out of frame, so I'm just going to describe it for you guys. To prevent the thread from slipping, you want to follow the same steps as before. Outside, center, inside, center. This secures the thread. After completing all the rhinestones, you want to knot your thread. And there you have it, your beautiful keychain. Now to put it together. Time to cut off the excess felt. Keeping in mind, you don't want to cut the threads. So cut as close as you can, but not too close to cut any threads. Just as a friendly reminder, you don't have to get as close as you can during the first cutting. You can always go back and cut off any extras. I am taking my time, making sure that I am watching my threads. I am just going to examine the back, making sure I didn't cut any threads, and I am good. I do notice that I have some extra felt, so I'm just going to trim them. I want to thank everyone who stayed till the end of the video. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. You can Facebook message us, text, and call. I'll get back to you. Please stay tuned for the part 3 of the series of making a beaded keychain. Stay safe.